Girl, what if I told you that your procrastination, your lack of discipline, or what some people may call lazy, is actually not a reflection of who you are at the core, right? It's a reflection and it has everything to do with the fact that your nervous system remembers. She remembers what you did last summer, and she remembers the trauma or somewhere down the line in your history where your spirit was. I just want to make it clear today that if you have been suffering with lack of discipline, procrastination, laziness, whatever, your nervous system just needs a little tune up, right? She's just been tweaking a little bit, but it's all good because she can be fixed. Let's dive into it. The other day, I wrote this journal to myself and I said, what the fuck is my brain protecting me from? I said, why do I feel safe being lazy? Laugh out loud, but for real, for real. I said, why do I feel safe in my old ass comfort zone? And why is it, I said it, okay, take notice of that. Why is it afraid to be any different, aka better? And this was after I was home alone. The kids were at daycare. The husband was off at work, and I just started to look around. And there was just so many, I like to call them sometimes unfinished projects, aka piles of laundry everywhere. Fan still needs to be dusted. Floor still need to be like a hot ass mess. It was a hot mess. And so I pondered on my journal, my questions that I asked to myself, right? And the answer came to me, and the answer said, because discipline in your mind equals punishment. I said, what? And she said, you were punished for not being disciplined enough. You were criticized for being called lazy. Oh. What? And first of all, I was really proud of myself just for being still enough, right? In the midst of what felt like or what looked like chaos, right? But to be still enough to actually hear, to be aware enough to hear my own answer to my own question. And that is the type of tea that I like to clock. Okay. That is a clockable moment when you are actually able to be still, right? Aware and we all have questions that we need answers to, right? But the question is for you, where do you get your answers from? Being still enough to actually hear your own thoughts, like it causes you to have this type of these conversations with yourself, like you suddenly feel very comfortable talking to yourself. Like, who else would I consult? You? No shade. But the best advice, counseling, wisdom, knowledge, revelations come from your inner wisdom. It's like, these conversations feel like a partnership, right? The best partnership I've ever had. Just want to make sure I make that clear. And also it feels like the two being gathered. I like to see it as my higher self, right? That version of me that I would put up on my dream board, on my vision board, right? That version of me being in a very good and loving relationship with my mind, my body, and my soul. Whew, that's a whole thing to unpack. And when I say my higher self and I say she, who are you talking about? Oh, this hocus pocus woo-woo stuff. No, I'm talking about the God in me. Okay. I'm talking about the God that is inside of all of us, like the light that is in you. Some of us have had the light turned on and some of us have not. But when that light turns on, it's still always in the background. It's still always there, right? But when you turn the lights on and that consciousness from God is now speaking to you and through you and is doing the work of the Lord, that is when you have reached, that's when you got that glow, like Bruce Leroy. Shown up. Here's my point. The only way to get the best answers to any question, but especially the ones about you, especially the ones about your ways, who you are, why you do what you do, why you move the way that you move, why you continue to see certain patterns or typically end up with the same type of people and relationships, or, you so often see the same issues and problems arise in your life, right? To get the answer, the best answer, the most truest answer to any question that you may have, right, is to first be aware. And second, learn to be the fuck still. It'll change your life. If I had not been still enough to just quickly reflect, sit down and journal, right? And think about questions about me. When was the last time that you pondered on questions about yourself? Journal. I didn't even sit down and write this journal. And I love to sit down and write, but this journal, I literally just quickly did it in my phone, in my notes. If I wasn't aware enough and also still enough to even know to do that, then maybe I would have went and asked someone else, like, what can I do to be more disciplined?